Hey everybody, welcome back. Taking a look at The Abyss, a film by James Cameron, Ultimate Collector's Edition. This is the Canadian release, which you can tell from the cover here. A good example of why I don't care for them. And it also has English and French on the spine. And I got this here because it was, I don't remember how much it was actually, but I want to say it was around like $15 less than the US. It was sizable enough where the French wasn't an issue. So, and this has the 4K Blu-ray and digital code. I think it has 3 discs actually. Let's take a look at that. You can see the green dot on my camera. Maybe I can move that out of the way here. I don't really like that. Be tough here. No, that's not going to do it. Is that going to do it? Nope. Am I almost there? Is that it there? I think that's it. Okay. I don't know why that little green dot kind of bothers me. Wow, okay, this is the smallest font of all time. So it includes the 1989 theatrical version and the 1993 special edition with 31 minutes of additional footage. And I'll get to the differences in just a moment. Wow, I can barely read that. And I'm nearsighted, so I'll take an extremely close look here. In this underwater sci-fi adventure, written and directed by James Cameron, a nuclear submarine mysteriously sinks and a private oil rig crew led by foreman Bud Bergman, that's Ed Harris, is recruited to join a team of Navy SEALs on a search and rescue effort. The group soon finds themselves on a spectacular life and death odyssey 25,000 feet below the ocean's surface, where they find a mysterious force that could either change the world or destroy it. Changing the world is a form of destruction, but that destroy part, that's really only the special edition, not so much the theatrical edition. And this is 14 and up, 14A and G ratings. I think it's PG-13 in the States. Could you even see that? Probably not. In the bottom here. And we have Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio, Pretty Lady, Michael Biehn, fine, handsome man. Ed Harris too, also handsome man. But Ed Harris with hair? I don't understand this. That's a little curious. I think the earliest movie I've seen Ed Harris in is Creepshow, and I think he has more hair here than he does in Creepshow. Is there a picture of him on the back? Did they just spray? Yes, you can't really see his hair here. He's that's really strange. That doesn't even represent how he looks in the movie. And Ed Harris has been, one of those actors that has embraced the baldness, like Bruce Willis or Patrick Stewart or something. It's a little odd. That's his hair there is a little strange. And we have the T-1000 here in little tiny lady. Aqua aliens up here. So I got quite a bit of stuff going on. Definitely assumes, you've seen the movie, I guess. The theatrical poster is, I think it's just the abyss, like this right here, and with a drawn out Y. And there's also another one that has this image with the abyss as well. Both of those I'd prefer over whatever the heck this is, but it is what it is. I'm happy to get this as a physical copy because I'm pretty sure this skipped Blu-ray entirely, so a little strange. A little bit of hair here. Get rid of that. So I've watched this twice now. This came out on 4K. I want to say it came out on 4K a little bit over a year ago, and I watched the theatrical cut, and then I watched the theatrical cut with the, I think this has the original audio on it if I remember correctly, and then I watched it just over the weekend, but we watched the special edition, and I watched that with the Atmos cut, Atmos audio. It's been a long time since I've seen the special edition because I had this on VHS and I watched this a lot when I was a kid. And I don't know if I ever had the Blu-ray, the DVD. If I did, that's when I would have seen the special edition. I don't remember exactly when I'd seen the special edition, but I'd absolutely seen it before, but I'd only seen that one time. Well, the theatrical cut I've seen multiple times. So I really appreciate the fact they have both cuts on here, and the special edition did become like the de facto edition where, we don't want you to see the theatrical cut anymore for whatever reason. And because the movies do play quite a bit differently, especially, again, I guess I don't really want to spoil the movie. And the movie came out in like 1988, 89 or something like that. Yeah, I just said it right here, didn't it? Yeah, the 1989 theatrical version and 1993 special edition. So I guess I'll avoid spoilers because, perhaps you haven't seen it. But I do feel like the cuts are distinct enough. It's not just extended scenes and some additional character development. Once you get near the third act of the movie, that's where things veer off, and the special edition really becomes its own thing. I think I prefer the special edition overall. I think it provides agency to a group in the movie that really had little in the theatrical cut. And when I first saw the theatrical cut, that wasn't really an issue for me. Granted, I was a kid, but even as an adult, it really isn't. It just kind of plays different in the sense of, there's life underwater, alien life, if you will, whether they're from space or not, I don't know, probably not. They certainly look like creatures that would live in the dark depths of the ocean, the way they're designed. And it kind of just plays well as a, there's life down here. They don't necessarily need motivations, but I do like the angle that the special edition adds. We recently saw the most recent, what the heck's the name of it? It's not Dead Reckoning Part 2. Final Reckoning, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, no longer a Part 2. And there are a lot of moments in that reminded me of James Cameron movies in general, besides like the most obvious being the AI villain. Some of the underwater photography, a character that needs to be resuscitated, and just reminded me of the Abyss. And there were some moments in that movie that actually kind of reminded me of True Lies, kind of reminded me of Aliens. So it just seemed to be, and I love James Cameron movies, so, besides, I'm not a huge fan of Avatar, but it just seemed to be filmed with respect for Cameron. Hey, we love those movies too, so we pluck a few things from those classic movies and put them in ours. So anyways, I was like, let's watch the special edition of this movie. And this is one of those movies when you're watching it and you're thinking, is the director trying to kill his cast? Like a lot of times I feel you'll watch that with, certainly like with Tom Cruise, but you're like wondering if that man has a death wish. But typically involves like they're trying to kill the stuntman here. If you're watching like an action film, and that makes them really exciting. These aren't actors, stunt actors. Ed Harris, this is Antonio, Michael Biehn, and it just seems like James Cameron's trying to drown them in this movie. Some of their facial expressions when they're having tens of thousands of gallons of water pouring into a room and knocking them off balance, it seems quite real. It doesn't seem like acting so much. And there's another scene in this movie, and I wouldn't be aware of it, just watch the movie by itself, but some behind the scenes where I believe Mary Elizabeth Montalbano was really irate with Cameron, saying like, hey, we're human beings here, or we're not pieces of meat or something, just like the physical abuse like the character was receiving on screen. And I guess Cameron is known to be, a bit of an asshole on set. Runs a tight ship. I suppose that's a way to phrase it that doesn't make him seem like an asshole. But yeah, a lot of times it's not unusual when you're hearing an interview or reading an article about an actor that has spent time with James Cameron and they won't work with them ever again. Like, no, it's a one and done. I'm not working for that man ever again. But he does have a few returning actors. Michael Biehn has been in a few movies, and of course Sigourney Weaver. She came back for the Avatar films, and so did Kate Winslet, for that matter. So I suppose it's not like a hard and true rule for every actor where, oh yeah, I'm not working for him again. So there's a few exceptions. But I do really like this movie. It seems like an incredibly difficult movie to make. Filming anything underwater seems really difficult to me, and the sets for this movie and the amount of screen time that is submerged in water. When they're on their rig, they're not, of course, like literally underwater. The rig very well may be, but the actors aren't. But when they are in their suits or not in their suits, it's just like, man, I'm sure they had a lot of people on set that could revive the actors in case there was a disaster, but it just seems like really uncomfortable filming conditions. And it's a really unique science fiction story. Like I feel like James Cameron, definitely wants to be a merman or something. Like his fascination with the ocean. And I'm glad he has it, because it gave us this movie, and he did a pretty interesting documentary. Avatar is certainly a water world, if you will. And then, of course, you have his own. I'm going to go in my submarine, see you later, time to check out some trenches. That's not really, that's pretty atypical for a director to push it that far, but you can tell it's a genuine interest of him, so you can really appreciate his passion for undersea adventures in this movie. And the cast is fantastic. I really enjoy all the actors in this, and Ed Harris especially. It's a very physical performance as well, but I think it's a really layered one. And I don't know if he was ever nominated for this movie. I think it's going to be, I know he's never won an Oscar. He's probably going to be like one of those actors that for whatever reason I just don't end up getting one. Like William Dafoe is an actor like who's working today. I think Ed Harris is definitely in his 70s. I think William Dafoe must be up there as well, and none of those two actors have an Oscar, so, but who knows. Still time left. Anyways, thanks for watching.